All right, I'm here with Gina Daley with Portland Integrative Fitness. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah. So you and I met about a year ago, and you joined the second cohort of Script Founders with the amazing Sue Embry, who is your facilitator. But just give me a quick take on like maybe a couple things that you've gotten out of the group.
Oh my gosh, I've been so grateful to have access to the information that comes through that group. We've been exposed to conversations that I never would have been exposed to, and
A couple examples of just some topics.
Yeah, everything from business strategy, like valuation strategy, exit strategy, operation strategy, to bigger picture, 5-year, 10-year plans of how to really build wealth and make smart decisions and leverage different chips. I think we've covered all of that, and I wouldn't have been exposed to those conversations had I not been in the group.
Cool. So Portland Integrative Fitness, how did it start? Give us the origin story, because I think that's always where, the first source of pain and opportunity comes from. You got to really want to do something badly to not only get it off the ground, but have it continue to thrive, and maybe not always thrive, but yeah, tell me about how you started it.
Yeah, so my origin story comes from a couple different places. I used to teach dance, and I split with my daughter's father when she was 2, and dance teaching, you work only at nights, and so I had to figure out a way to make money while she was in school, or else I was never going to see her and be able to provide for her. There was definitely a financial cap in the dance teaching world, even though that was my passion. So I pivoted to the quickest thing, which was teaching movement. I already knew how to do that really well. I knew anatomy, and so I went back to school and decided to become a trainer. And the hard part of it was I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I used movement to really transfer me from that victim space to getting back out in the world. And it was the first time that in my own journey I had been using exercise as something other than aesthetics, and I really saw the power of physical exercise in taking someone from one archetype to the next, and there's so much magic within that. And so when I was going through that journey myself, I was like, there's something really here, and that's where my purpose sparked. And I really wanted to create a space that was a kiln for other people to come in and experience that transformation themselves. I always tell people they come in for functional fitness and maybe pain relief, but really they're there for the deeper stuff. And so I trained under Ian Rubin for a year, and he had a really holistic approach, which is something that I really aligned with, because our systems are all interconnected and you can't separate one from the other. And mainstream fitness kind of only focuses on a very superficial level of the body, and it ends up harming a lot of people because of that. There's a lot of toxic garbage out there that harms people with diet culture and the kind of no pain, no gain, and it serves 10% of the population.
Right. Yeah.
All humans need exercise, but all humans are not welcome in those spaces. And so when Ian decided to, he didn't want to own a business anymore, the universe knocked on my door and was like, and I was like, no, I don't, it's not me. And they're like, yeah, it's you. So I took the invitation, and I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to create something that was true and helpful and actually helping people. And so I took my hobby, which was learning the root cause of things. So I call myself a root cause junkie. So I'm always researching root cause physiology and biology and psychology, and I just smushed everything I knew about that into a method that ended up being really effective and really efficient. And so That's kind of how Portland Integrative Fitness was
Yeah,
born.
and when you started, did you have a physical space immediately, or you?
Yeah, we took over the lease from Ian in 23rd and Belmont. It was a really tiny little space.
Okay, cool. And then your clients, like, I turned 51, well, actually I'm about to turn 52, but I think like when we get into our 40s and 50s, like pretty much everybody needs some sort of help, you know, we all need a lot of help.
Yeah.
But you, tell me what your, you know, most of your clients, like where they are in their fitness journey or just their movement journey, all that. And then I want to get very quickly to this new kind of hybrid service, this app that you just launched. It sounded like your mom gave you a loan for 12 grand to launch this cool app, so called ThryvGuide. So, but what I like about it is that it's not trying to say only stay on the app. It's trying to say maintain your body, do all of these things on a daily basis, and then when you get to a certain point, maybe if this pain persists or whatever, you need to come in to you or any of the providers out there for professional help.
Yeah, so the first question, so we call it maintenance, we call it holistic functional fitness. So what that means is basically how your brain grabs certain movement patterns and uses them in life. And it's always going to pick the easiest way, it's going to cut corners. And over time, those dysfunctional movement patterns create pain and injury, especially if we're active. And everyone needs maintenance, just like your car needs to go to, you know, the oil change shop and get your tires aligned. It's the same thing with our brains and our bodies. So I would say most people are coming to us because they have chronic pain and they want to exercise without flaring their symptoms is number one. We also specialize in folks that would be probably get injured in mainstream fitness, so folks with hypermobility, prenatal, postpartum, seniors, people experiencing menopause, and there's all of these symptoms and side effects that kind of come with each of those populations, and we really know how to listen to the body and help those people learn how to exercise even with those conditions.
Yeah, and Western medicine is so after the fact and not preventative, and this is
100%. Yeah, and where the app comes in is, so folks would come to me during their consult and they'd say, yeah, I want to learn how to exercise. I'm like, great, we have that piece. But then they would not be feeling well. So it would be like, I'm not sleeping, my hormones are jacked, I've gained a bunch of weight and I don't know why, all of these things. And I was like, we're living in this time where we have access to all of the information, yet something is still missing. Why aren't people getting better? What's the hang up? And so there's this giant chasm between action and like where they're at and taking action using this information. And I think it's because there's so much information out there, they don't know what's real. And it's like this giant noise cloud. So we tune everything out and we don't know where to start, and we just freeze because we're overwhelmed, we're exhausted, we don't know where to go for help still.
And I think humans need humans. I have a weekly personal trainer friend who's professional, and I know I should do more strength training, but I need the human motivation and the accountability partner, because an app is just not gonna get me there.
100%. Yep, and we know that because if that worked, it would be working, and everybody would be working out.
Yeah.
So the app that I created with the brilliant Noah Stolmaker, developer, we sought to solve that problem and bridge that gap. So what it does is it synthesizes, so there's 5 different AI agents all wrapped inside one coach, and they synthesize actual textbooks and evidence-based research papers, and so from a holistic root cause perspective. So it's not just like Claude wrapped in a different app. It only sources from evidence. It takes all of those protocols, so it'll chat with you based on your symptoms, what you're looking for, and it can be anything from you need help with your exercises, you need help sleeping, you need help stopping scrolling on your phone, you need help drinking more water, like whatever it is. It'll create a custom protocol step by step, so it's like bite-sized and doable for you to go through. And then if you need specialized support, it has a whole local practitioner provider directory loaded up in it, and it will tell you what type of specialist to go to. It'll pop up their contact card, so it's one click away. So basically we tried to build the water trough and take the horse and put the horse's head in the water and stick the tongue out and be like, here, drink some water. Like as easy as possible. The app's goal is to educate and actually teach how the body really works. And because a lot of people still don't know, we're still all victim to like this really old, outdated, incorrect information about how bodies work, like around body composition, calories in, calories out, stress, hormones, all those things. And so it educates on all of those things, and it empowers you to actually take action now. You don't have to wait to go to your doctor to start feeling better, to start moving the needle. And then when you do need support, it tells you exactly what type of specialist to go to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And this is for anywhere in the country, but...
Yeah, so right now the provider list is just Portland, but if we get some investors, we can load up, we can create a way where it'll source local providers nationwide.
Okay, well my audience is primarily Portland, so we're here to make a healthier Portland, and Gina, thanks so much for being on the show.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
Cheers.